Good morning. Today's Tanya is an amazing Tanya because the Alter Rebbe tells us something really, really very amazing. Our sages tell us, better 1 hour of good deeds in this world. Think about the statement. So many religions are telling us, oh wow, the whole idea is get to heaven and heaven is bliss, blah, blah, blah. And there's truth to that. It says, an hour in heaven, imagine you had the best life from a physical standpoint in this world. I don't know, you had everything you could ever desire. And no fears, it was just all, I don't know, whatever. In your beautiful beach house somewhere, swimming with the dolphins, whatever you like. That wouldn't compare to a single hour in heaven. 1 hour, the joy, the delight, the pleasure. In fact, it's very interesting. There are many people that have near-death experiences. And when they get to heaven, they've been their whole life on earth. One moment there, they're like, it's so amazing. They're like, wow, this is what I want. Just keep me over here. This is just better than the whole world. So it's really, heaven is an amazing, amazing delight. Yet, at the same time, we say it's better to live 1 hour to do Torah and mitzvahs in this world, particularly tshuva, which is the greatest mitzvah, growth, going higher and better, than the entire bliss of this world. Of the world to come. So this world, let's say you had a good life. The world to come, it could be so amazing. Imagine that for 1,000 years. And yet, 1 hour in this world of Torah mitzvah, you say, what's the big deal? I just put on tefillin, I just daven, I just learned some Torah, or I just growed. Is it such a big thing? It's a tiny thing. And yet, that is greater than all of heaven. Why? So we have to understand what is actually heaven. So heaven, the Rebbe Rashab was once in his room, and he was learning the Kutz Torah, the secrets of the Torah, Jewish mysticism. And he says, I was just in heaven for 3 hours. What do they do in heaven? What is heaven? So heaven, unlike the Islamic version that is, some kind of brothel, God forbid, heaven is a place in which we are studying the secrets of the Torah. We get to know, if you want to say, God's will better. Now, the human mind is limited. Even if you have a computer, and the smartest computer in the world is still limited. It can't have infinite data, right? It has a finite capacity. The human mind, no matter how great you are, there's only so much you can know and only so much you can feel. At a certain point, even people, if they're feeling too much, they cry. Why? Because emotions, it's like in the mind, it like pushes out tears because it's just too much. So we're not going to go into more details of in positive and negative what happens to people, but the bottom line is there's only so much you can think and so much you can feel. And you can be in the highest realm possible. There's only so much you can handle. I'll give you a really good example of this. Imagine light. There's only so much light you can have. So you can say, okay, well, it's dark here. Oh, wow, it's amazing. It's light. Oh, it's so bright. But at a certain point, you won't be able to handle the light. You'll have to close your eyes. But imagine I come and I hug you. So I'm not revealing myself to you. I'm not wowing you, with, I'll give you a simple example. Let's say you go to a magician, and the magician does amazing acts. I saw a David Copperfield show. Wow, the guy's amazing. But imagine you go to the backstage afterwards, and there's no speaking. He comes up to you and he gives you a hug. In that hug, it's greater than all the magic tricks. Why? Because it's a personal thing. It's me to you. It's without all of the fanfare. Because all of the fanfare, there's only so much, right? Even magic, there's only so much you can get. At a certain point, let's say it would blow your mind. But in reality, what's really important to understand is that the essence of God came into the Torah mitzvahs. Because God is infinite, He can also be finite. He can conceal Himself and put Himself 100% into the mitzvah. So when you are putting on tefillin, you are literally bringing God into your arm. When you're studying Torah, into your head. When you're, eating on Shabbos, into your stomach. Whatever you're doing that's a mitzvah, that object is pure godliness. And that comes into you. So while you're in heaven, what you're experiencing, unfortunately, they don't have Torah mitzvahs in heaven. That's why we pray for all the people that have passed, that they come back to earth so they can do the Torah mitzvahs down here. When a person passes away, they're exempt from mitzvahs, but they're experiencing godliness. It's kind of, if you want to call it, the high, the pleasure of godliness. But when they come down here into this world, then we can do the mitzvah itself. So while we're in that world, it's so amazing, the light is so great, and we can feel and experience this tremendous awe and tremendous emotions. But that isn't God Himself. That's not the hug. That's what you see. That's the show. When you're here and you do a mitzvah, and you transform yourself, and it's difficult, you overcome the Yetzer Hara, that is God himself. That is the essence of God's love. And that's why it says about God, the Torah is given, it's given with right. The Torah is also compared to water, which is the right side. It's like a hug. The right side is the mayim, the left side is eish. And so when we're studying Torah, what we're doing is where God is coming to us, and we are actually coming to God. It's the greatest union that can possibly exist. And as Rebbe says, even greater than this union, the union of studying of Torah, like we speak about, is the union that's happening now in the Messianic times of God literally coming into our minds, becoming one with us. There is no greater union with God. You can go to heaven, but still it's you studying Torah. So there's this dichotomy. But the time that we're in now, where God is uniting with us, where the Jew and God become one, this is the greatest love of God, the greatest ability for a human being to achieve the highest union. And ironically, it's not a loud fanfare. It's quiet. Like the famous story with Elijah the prophet. God told him to stand on a mountain, and opposing him was another mountain. I think first there was an earthquake, and it says, no, that was a God. There was a great fire. No, that was God. And then you heard a little voice. It says, that was God. And even greater than a little voice is like a deep sense of godliness that you know the will of God. It's within you. L'chaim v'levracha.